to another video on the channel, and welcome back to the Peak District. So today is going to be episode 2 of the World War II era plane wreck sites up in the Peak District, and hopefully today we're going to actually try and find 2 sites. When I've been doing a bit of research, there seems to be 2 that are quite close together, so we're going to aim for those today. Currently making my way up towards Middle Blackclough. That's our ascent up onto the top. When we get up there, and the first one is up on Round Hill, and that is a Blackburn Botha aircraft. First job is to find that one, and then after that there is another aircraft called a Boulton-Paul Defiant, and that's up near Bleaklow Stones. So that's the second target for today. So hopefully we'll find both of those, have a good look round, and hopefully it'll be an interesting day out. So again, I've never visited these crash sites before, and I've actually never been on this route before either. Never been this way up onto Bleaklow. So be a nice, interesting and challenging day hopefully. Right, well, that got pretty challenging pretty quickly actually. We've got many marked paths through here, and it's very very scrambling, very wet. But that's the entrance to Middle Blackclough. So, and I've ended up on the wrong side of the river. So we're going to have to do a bit of a skip over the river and see if we can get up there. So it's a fairly interesting route, shall we say, but we'll give it a go. Right, we made it over. We're on a slightly wet beach, so we're all good. We'll try and find out what's up here now. There isn't actually a marked path on the Ordnance Survey, so I think it's just a bit of a pick your way up. There is a little bit of a path up here, but nothing really defined, so all good fun. Yeah, once you actually get into the clough itself, there is a reasonably well defined path running up the side of it. The Arbit seems to be actually finding the entrance in the first place. It is steep and rocky and scrambly, you definitely need hands. So that's just something to bear in mind if you decide to come up here. But no, really good fun, enjoying it. Well, that was a bit of a surprise. It does say on the map that there are falls on here, but got lots of little ones on the way up. We weren't expecting that. Just spotted it through the trees. It is a little bit off the main path, and you have to do a bit of a detour to get down here, but definitely worth coming and having a look. Wow, so Mill Black Clough. What a little hidden gem that is. Waterfalls, bit of scrambling. Looks like barely anybody goes up there, so yeah, real treat. Yeah, obviously if you're going to try that yourself, you do need to be aware it's a pretty challenging route, lots of scrambling, lots of hands-on. Yeah, if that sort of thing's your cup of tea, then definitely go for it. Certainly mine. So next part of the day is finding this Blackburn Botha wreckage. So as you can see, I'm sort of up out the top of the clough now, and from looking at the map, the wreckage is up on Round Hill, which is that little raise just in the distance there. So I think we'll just contour along the edge of the clough for a bit longer. I'm not sure how far this goes up before it flattens out, so obviously we need to be over the other side. But we'll carry on up here a bit further, then I'll get the old GPS out and put the coordinates in. Just a little spot back there where the sides of the clough kind of flattened out, so I've hopped across the stream again, and we're on the other side of the clough now. So I'm just making my way up onto the top at the other side, and then we'll get the get my phone out, put the GPS coordinates in, and we'll head off. Right, we are just about there. If I turn around, you might just be able to see the tips of the wreckage sticking up in the background. Didn't film much of that because it was a real trudge, just over open moorlands, no paths, just wading through knee-deep heather, which really takes it out of you. And I think, actually looking at it, the better bet might be to follow the other side of the clough where I was before. Just keep following it up to this point and then just cut straight across here. It's certainly cut out a lot of that open moorland walking. So this is the wreckage of the Blackburn Botha. It's quite different to the one that we filmed last week. There's loads of kind of little tiny fragments of it all over. I don't know where that's coming across on the camera, but those aren't stones, they're all little tiny pieces of aluminium where it's just all broke apart. And there's a fairly big piece of the airframe there. Not entirely sure what that is, maybe a wing section or something like that. A little memorial on it. And a little bit further down there's another quite big section just over there. Yeah, as I said, quite different to the Bristol Blenheim site. I've had a bit of a look round and I can't seem to find any engines or anything like that, so I think of it, maybe think of it as they either salvaged the engines or the ground round is really soft and boggy, so the engines might have even just gone in and buried themselves when it crashed. This one looks like it hit really hard. As I say, there's just fragments and bits of it everywhere. As I did with the other one, I'll put a bit of voiceover in and tell you some details about it.
The Blackburn Botha was a 4-seat twin-engined reconnaissance and torpedo bomber. It was designed in the 1930s by the Blackburn Aircraft Company and first saw service with the RAF in December 1939. It was withdrawn from frontline service a short time later in 1941 after it was discovered to be underpowered and have stability issues. The Botha was fully withdrawn from service in 1944. Botha W5103 was a new aircraft being delivered to RAF Holden from the Blackburn factory near Leeds. It was piloted by First Officer Thomas William Rogers of the Air Transport Auxiliary. The aircraft crashed in poor visibility on December the 10th, 1941. First Officer Rogers was sadly killed in the crash.
Right, so that was the site of the Blackburn Botha. Now, like I said earlier, I'm going to try and find another one today as well, because they're pretty close together. And it's a site of a Boulton-Paul Defiant, which is up by near Bleaklow Stones, which is right just up there. So we'll have a wander over, see if we can find this one as well. So this section's actually not too bad, considering it's all open moorland. The heather's not half as deep here. There's loads of, oh, you can see them in the background, peat grass as it runs down off the top. So definitely got a squelchy bogfoot in a couple of those. But there actually is a really faint, I wouldn't call it a path, maybe a trod, or it might even be just a sheep trail, but definitely a little faint path up here, whether other people have done the same as what I'm doing. Shouldn't be far away now, so I'll bring you back when we get there. Nice to find it. And this is the Boulton-Paul Defiant. Is it Bolton or Boulton? I'm not sure. Apologies to any aircraft buffs out there that know. But yeah, again, really not much left of this one. I would say, looking at it, this wreckage has all been collected up and piled in one spot at some point. Again, no engines or anything I can see, whether that, as I said before, whether they've been salvaged or whether, like I think might have happened with the other one that we've just been to, they've sunk into the peat maybe.
The Boulton-Paul Defiant was a night fighter and interceptor designed to attack unescorted enemy bombers. It was a 2-seat single-engined aircraft with an electrically operated dorsal-mounted gun turret. It proved effective in the role for which it was designed. However, it was itself vulnerable to attack by more manoeuvrable single-seat fighters, such as the ME-109. Defiant N3378 crashed in August 1941. Pilot Officer James Craig and Aircraftsman Second Class George Daniel Hampstead both survived the initial crash, but then sadly perished from exposure. It had sadly taken over a month for authorities to find the missing aircraft.
Right, so those were the crash sites of a Boulton-Paul Defiant and a Blackburn Botha. One of the things that sort of really surprised me as I've been doing a bit of research for this series is how many aircraft manufacturers there actually were in Great Britain at the time, all around wartime. Obviously we've seen 3 crash sites so far, 3 different aircraft designed by 3 different companies, and yeah, just goes to show how many there were at that time, and that's without even touching on the big ones which like Avro and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's a real kind of journey of discovery for me as well, this one. So I've always been interested in World War II history. I wouldn't say I was a kind of any sort of history buff. Finding out about these crash sites for information for the walks has been really interesting, and obviously it's bringing me to places in the Peak District that I've never been to before as well, which is always good. Just dropping down off the top now from near Bleaklow Stones, and you might just be able to make it out on the camera, heading for near Blackclough, which is where I'm going to descend back down into that little bit of woodland where we started off the day, and then to the car park at the side of the woodhead where I've left the car. Right, here we are near Blackclough. Just about to drop down into it now. There is actually quite a well-defined path just on the other side. Might just be able to pick it out running down the edge there. So I just got to drop down into the bottom somewhere here, up across the stream, and I'll get myself up onto that path up there. So we're back on the path now in near Blackclough, and although I do like to get off the path and get off the beaten track after a morning of wading through knee-deep heather on open moorland and way, avoiding all the cloughs and everything, it's quite nice to be back on a path really now. Pretty mad. This little tiny bit of a tree stump left right in the middle of the path. I wonder how long that's been there. Right, almost back at the car now. So we're going to sign up here. The last bit of the path runs along the side of the Woodhead Pass, so it might be a bit noisy if I'm filming there. But a really awesome day again. Absolutely loved it. Middle Blackclough turned out to be a real gem. Proper nice little scramble up the waterfalls and everything. And obviously we managed to find both the crash sites that I was aiming for, which is good stuff. So Once again, if you do decide to visit any of these crash sites, please be aware that they are classed as war graves. The air crews did lose their lives when those planes crashed, so please treat the sites with the respect that they deserve. Never take any of the wreckage away, and please don't leave any of your litter or anything like that lying around. Once again, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying this new series. If you are, drop us a thumbs up or a comment, or if there's any plane crash sites that any of you guys know about that you want to see, let me know about those and I'll try and fit them in if I can. But for now, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.